Hello, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. My name is Emma. In today's video we are going to be picking my August TBR using the TBR prompt jar. I say this every month, but I really love filming these videos. Yeah, it's time for August, which kind of feels crazy. Before we get into the video, I do just want to give you a couple of updates. Firstly, the prompt jar is looking a little bit empty. Basically, in previous videos when I've been taking prompts out, I've not been putting them back in because I didn't want to keep repeating the same prompts. So when this gets empty, I will put all the previous prompts back in, but I just didn't want to be picking the same prompts every month. I mean, these videos probably are a little bit repetitive anyway, so I didn't want to have the same prompts every time. And then the other thing is just a little update on how I did with my July TBR. So I'm filming this on the 29th of July, and as I'm filming this, I have read 3 of the books on my July TBR, which I'm actually pretty happy with because I only actually started getting through that TBR middle of July. I had carried a few books over from June, so I was reading those. So I do still have 2 books left, but I am still planning on reading these. I think I'm going to start Broken Country next, so I'll definitely start this in July. I'm not sure if I will finish it before the end of the month, but I'm definitely going to start this. And then I do also want to read The Story of a New Name. I really want to read both books. They're both very like summery reads to me, and August is really the last month of summer for me to get in my summer reading. So I am going to carry these 2 books over, and I'm hoping I can get both of them finished like over this weekend, because I'm actually going up to see my family and I will be on a train for 6 hours in total across the weekend, so I can get a lot of reading done on the train because I will be travelling up on my own. I'm hopeful that I can get them finished like in the first part of August, like by like August 3rd. I will update you in a comment below whether I've read the books, and also my Goodreads will be linked down below if you want to see what I'm reading in real time. But yeah, I am planning on carrying those books over and reading them before I start on my August TBR. But yes, I think they're all the things that I need to mention and just update you on. So without further ado, let's just get on into picking some prompts. As always, I'm going to pick 5 prompts because I like to aim for 5, give myself a few options. Even if I don't get around to reading all 5, it gives me a little bit more of a variety of books to pick from for the month. I have a few things I would like to get to just because I feel like August is the last month for summer books, so there are a couple of books that I would like to read in the summer, but I'm kind of open. Other than that, I'm not really sure, so we'll just see what we get. Give the jar a good shake. Okay, and then let's pick a prompt. Grab this one. A book that will complete a Goodreads challenge. Okay, so if you didn't know, on Goodreads they do like challenges like every season, and I like to try complete as many of the challenges as I can in the season. I mean, I don't tend to complete all of them, but I like to just see what's on there and give me some ideas. So I'm just gonna go on to my Goodreads. Yeah, it's these, the summer, and just kind of go through and decide what I want to pick. Okay, I actually do have a couple of ideas because I have looked at these already. There's a challenge for literary summer, and they're books with titles with the word summer in the title. And one of the options that I do have is on my Kindle, which is One Golden Summer by Carly Fortune. I recently read Every Summer After by her, and I really liked it. So, and I've watched the TV show, so I'd like to continue the series, and I've heard really good things about One Golden Summer, so that's definitely an option. A nice summer romance. Also in one of the categories, backdoor fiction, Atmosphere is an option, by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I actually haven't read Taylor Jenkins Reid in a really long time, and yeah, I've just kind of been thinking about picking up her books, so I'll put that one as an option. What else do we have? So I'm going to choose between these 5. I think, like I said, there's some other options we could go for, but I'm just going to choose between these 5. And honestly, I think it's between either Atmosphere or One Golden Summer, because these are both books that I would quite like to read in summer. The Women and the Great Believers I'm going to put back, just because I do want to read those. I do really want to read the Great Believers, but I just don't know if I want gut-wrenching. But I think we are going to go with One Golden Summer by Carly Fortune. Like I said, I recently read Every Summer After, really loved it, and I have now watched the TV show. I liked the TV show. The TV show is not very similar to the book at all. There's quite a lot of like differences in the adaptation, but I still did enjoy the TV as a standalone. But I would really like to read One Golden Summer, and I feel like this has to be read in summer. It's a summer romance, and this follows Charlie, who is the brother of Sam, who the first book follows the love story between Percy and Sam. Sam, and this is going to be between Charlie. I don't really know much else, but like I said, I really enjoyed Every Summer After. I'm excited to get to One Golden Summer, and also I can read this on my Kindle. I have not read a book on my Kindle for a little while actually, so I think we're going to put Atmosphere back on the shelf, but if we can pick that for another prompt, I wouldn't mind. So yeah, for the first book on the August TBR is going to be One Golden Summer. Very excited for that. Let's put that over there. Okay, next prompt. Hopefully I won't have to do as much research for the next one, because that took a while. Okay, let's go for this one. I don't know what that says. A book with a title that is 2 words or less. Ooh, okay. So we could go for Atmosphere again. We could go for the women, but I just don't think I'm going to go for the women. We could go with My Friends by Frederick Bachman. We could go with Book Lovers by Emily Henry. Oh, we could go for Sunstruck. Okay. Also, like, I'm not picking out all the options, I'm just kind of picking out the ones that I'm gravitating towards rather than pulling out all the books, because otherwise we could be here for a while. Okay, so we've got 4 good options here. Again, we've got Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I believe this is like a historical romance fiction. Like I said, I love Taylor Jenkins Reid, and I've not read one of her books for a little while, and I know she's got a new book coming out that she's just announced, so that is definitely on my radar. We have My Friends by Frederick Bachman. Yeah, this is a book that I really like to read in the summer. I've read A Man Called Ove and Beartown by him, and I loved both of them, and I really love his writing. And actually my mother-in-law read this and she recommended it to me, which has put it back on my radar, because she was like, oh, I think you'd really enjoy this book. So that is definitely an option. We have Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I've actually just read People We Meet on Vacation. I think it's called You and Me on Vacation. It's got multiple titles. By Emily Henry, which is my first Emily Henry, and I actually really enjoyed that one. I've heard that one's a lot of people's least favourite Emily Henry, so I'm really excited for this. This, I believe, is Rivals to Lovers. It follows Nora and Charlie, who are both writers. This, I think, would be a good option, but we already have One Golden Summer, and I feel like I don't know if I want 2 summer romances, so I might put that back there. I don't know, I'm intrigued to read Emily Henry, but I feel like she's got so many books and I can't read them all like this month, so yeah. And then we have Sunstruck by William Rayford Hunter. I don't actually know much about this, but I've heard it compared to Saltburn film, and I actually really enjoyed Saltburn, and I really enjoyed the premise of Saltburn, and I feel like this looks cool. I really love this cover. It's like a cave. It kind of gives like eerie summer vibes, which I quite like, and I feel like this could be a good option. I'm not really sure what genre this is. I think it's like got a love story. Okay, so I think all 3 are good options. I would really like to read all 3 of these this month, so if we get all 3 of them on the August TBR, I'll be really happy. What am I gonna go for? Okay, I think I'm gonna go for Sunstruck. It's kind of really calling to me. Atmosphere I do really want to read, but I feel like this does not necessarily have to be read in the summer. I would like to get to this soon. My Friends, I do really want to read this, and if I can get this for another prompt, I will be choosing that. But I think I'm just gravitating towards Sunstruck, because I just feel like this is giving, it's giving like August vibes. I feel like almost like it's giving me slightly creepy vibes. I don't know why. I think that's just because it's been compared to Saltburn, and Saltburn was a little bit of a weird film. It's kind of giving me like August, end of summer, summer weenie vibes, but not really. I'm not really sure. I could be completely off with that idea, but I'm really excited to read this. And I think it's pretty new. I think it was only released last year. Published by Murky Books in 2025 and published by Penguin in 2026. So it's a pretty new release. So yeah, I think we're going to add Sunstruck by William Rayford Hunter onto the TBR. Going in a little bit blind, which I quite like, but I'm excited. And although I think it's got a bit of romance, it is also like more fiction-y than One Golden Summer, I think. So I'm going to add that to the August TBR. Okay. Next prompt. Okay, we're shaping up for a good reading list. Let me go. Oh no, I know what that is. Alex chooses a book. Alex is my husband, so we're gonna have to get him in here and get him to pick a book. I'm really nervous. I have no idea what he's gonna pick. I kind of want him to pick from the top row, but I don't know if I should be giving him direction. Hello?
Hello?
Can I borrow you, please? I need you to pick me a book.
Oh.
I'll let you do it off camera and then we'll just come back to whatever you choose. He's going to come and pick a book. I don't know how long this is going to take him and I have no idea what he's going to pick. Do you want to choose me a book? Can I give you direction or...?
No. What's to choose from? Anything on here?
Yes, ideally I'd like the top row. But if you want to pick from the bottom row, you can pick from the bottom row. You can't pick that because I've not read that and I need to read that to be able to read that. Hi Mia, do you want to pick me a book?
Yeah, one.
Feel free to pick some and peruse and look at the covers, have a read. Any genres you're going for? What one are you pointing at?
Crying in H marks.
Why do you want that one?
Because I chose it.
Okay, would you like to look at the
No,
other one?
I wouldn't.
Do you want to know what
That's
it's
the one
about?
I've chosen. No.
Oh, Mia's having some water. Okay. Do you want to explain your reasoning?
I like it.
You just like it. You like the orange?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, this is what he's gone with. I did not expect him to pick this at all. This is Crying in H Mark by Michelle Zorna. I believe this is a non-fiction. It's more a biography about a woman who is grieving the loss of her mother. I think. I don't know. There's not even a synopsis, but I'm pretty sure it is about. It is a woman dealing with the grief of losing her mother, and it's like a memoir. Not what I thought he would choose. It didn't really have a reason. I think he just was drawn to the bright orange. But it's a short book. I think it'll be interesting to read. I have wanted to read this and I have heard really good things. Oh, she's a singer and guitarist from a band called Japanese Breakfast. Okay, I'm intrigued. This is what he's chosen. It'll be something a little bit different. Not what I would have chosen to read about grief in the middle of summer, but I think it'll be nice. And I don't read a lot of like memoirs or non-fiction, so I'm intrigued to read it. It's also quite short. So yeah, that is the third book on the August TBR. Okay. Not what direction I thought he was gonna go, but okay. Go with this prompt. A book with a person on the cover. Okay. Can't go for atmosphere. There is a version with people on the cover. We could go with the names. Let me just pull them all out actually rather than showing you them all. Okay, I've got three options here. There are definitely ones that probably fit the prompt better. There's one with literally like an actual photo of an actual human on the cover. I'm picking ones that I am actually interested in reading this month and I would like to get to. Because like book lovers kind of sounds like people, but I like cartoon drawings. Yeah, there's a few with like people or silhouettes of people or drawings of people on the cover, but these are the three we are going to look at. So the first one is The Names. I've heard really good things about this. This is a fiction book and it follows the story of a family, and it's kind of like a sliding door situation where it's about a woman who goes to name her son, and there's three options. There's the option that her husband chooses, the option she chooses, and the option that their daughter chooses. And I feel like it's a sliding doors situation, and it kind of follows him depending on what name he had and how life would have ended up. Sounds very interesting. I do think it is going to be quite a heavy read, and I don't know if it's necessarily something that I have to read in the summer, but I've heard really, really good things, and there's definitely a person on the cover. Then we have My Friends by Frederick Bachman. Kind of people, bodies in the water, which I believe is like a painting. This is like not a photo, it's more like a drawing painting thing, but definitely counting that as people. And then we have So Thrilled for You by Holly Bourne, which has a picture of a woman on the front, and this follows a friend group, and I think they're all in their 30s, and it's just kind of dealing with female friendship and like the different scenarios people are in friendships. I believe one of them's got a child. They've been friends since university. Now in their 30s, life is pulling them in different directions and motherhood is at the forefront of their minds, and it takes place over a baby shower on a hot summer's day. But I think this sounds really interesting. kind of both about friendship. I love books about friendship, but I think this sounds like a really good read. And it was only really last month that I realised that this was based over a summer's day, so I think that could be a good option. I feel like they're all literary fictions. I think I'm going to put the names back because I don't think that's what I'm gravitating towards this month. So it's whether I read My Friends or So Thrilled for You. Okay, I think we're going to go for My Friends by Frederick Bachman. I do really want to read this and I would like to get this on the TBR, but I feel like I keep gravitating back towards this. So I feel like that's a good option. I do think this might be sad though. I think I might be giving myself quite a heavy fiction month. A heavy emotional fiction month, if that makes sense. So yeah, for a book with a person on the cover, we're going to go with Frederick Bachman. I do think like that's probably fits the prompt better, but I make the rules. Okay, and now we're on to the last prompt. I feel like this has gone really quickly. Okay, let's go this one. Oh, that's a couple. Go for this one. A book which has a movie TV adaptation. Okay, not gonna lie, when I decided wanted to get to Thrill for Your Atmosphere, and I don't think either of those are options. Atmosphere is going to be adapted apparently. I don't know if that's cheating. I kind of feel like it's a little bit cheaty, but we're just gonna see what my other options are. We could do Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. The Handmaid's Tale. That's definitely an option. Thursday Murder Club. Oh, there's, oh, they do A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Okay, these are the 5 that I have picked. Now, I should be picking from these 4. Because I think picking up a book that's been picked up and said they're going to make it into a TV show might be a little bit cheating. Yeah, no, I don't think I can make that fit the prompt. I do really want to read this though, but I mean, it's fine. If I decide I really want to read it that much, I can. So we're between these 4. Now, Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen, I actually picked up recently in a charity shop because they are bringing out a movie in September that I really want to see. And I've not read this Jane Austen. However, back in May I picked up, because I've read Emma and Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, and back in May I picked up Persuasion by Jane Austen. And I read half of it and I've not finished it, and I kind of do want to finish Persuasion before I pick this up, but this is coming out in September, so this could be a good option. But then maybe, yeah, I just don't know if this is what I want to. I kind of feel like I should finish Persuasion, because if I pick this up then I'm just never going to finish Persuasion. That could be an option. And then the other 3, we have The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. I don't actually really know what this is about, but I know this is a TV show. So the Republic of Gilead allows Offred only one function to breed. If she deviates, she will, like all dissenters, be hanged at the wall or sent out to die slowly of radiation sickness. But even a repressive state cannot obliterate desire, neither Offred's nor that of the 2 men on which her future hangs. Okay, this has been on my list to read for a while. It's like a modern classic. It's not screaming August to me, so I don't think I want to do that one. And then we have A Good Girl's Guide to Murder and The Thursday Murder Club, which are kind of similar. This has been on my list to read for ages, and I will get around to this. This follows a retirement group who are solving the murder. I think they solve cold cases in their retirement village, and this has been adapted into a movie on Netflix. I've heard really good things about this. And then we also have A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson, which is about a teenager schoolgirl who was solving a murder. I think I'm between these 2 because they're kind of both like thrillery whodunits, and I feel like that would be a nice addition to the August TBR. It's whether which one I want to do. Let's see. Should we do a first sentence again? First little paragraph. Well, let's start with Elizabeth, shall we, and see where that gets us. I knew who she was, of course. Everybody here knows Elizabeth. She has one of those 3-bed flats in Larkin Court. It's one on the corner with the decking. Also, I was once on the quiz team with Stephen, who, for a number of reasons, is Elizabeth's 3rd husband. Not enticing to me. Pip knew where they lived. Everyone in Little Kilton knew where they lived. That their home was like the town's own haunted house. People's footsteps quickened as they walked by, and their words strangled and died in their throats. Shrieking children would gather on their walk home from school, daring one another to run up and touch the front gate. Oh, this has got like little... Okay, I think I'm going to go for A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. mainly because this is one of my friend's like favourite ever books, which makes me good. I have heard really good things about the Thursday Murder Club, but I will read it one day because I've owned this book for years. But I think I'm just gravitating more towards this. Was I going to choose it to read in August? Probably not, but I think it'll be a good addition to the list. And I think, like, I've not read a thriller in a little while. I read The Guard of the Woods, which I think is technically a thriller, but it's very slow paced, and I think this is going to be a bit more quicker to read. I'm gonna go for that. I think that's a nice addition to the TBR. And that is all the books I'm planning on reading for August. Quite a mix. A couple of books on there that I wasn't expecting to choose for August, but I'm actually quite excited. I feel like I've got a good range. We've got a romance, we've got some fiction, we've got a memoir, non-fiction, we've got a bit of a thriller. I feel like that's going to be a nice mix for August. And although they weren't, a couple of them weren't specifically books that I necessarily was thinking to read this month, these are all books that I do want to get around to reading. And kind of the whole idea behind doing these TBR videos is kind of like to get me to read all the books on my physical TBR. They are all books that I still want to read, hence why they're all still on this shelf. So I'm excited to get them. So for just a little recap, a book that will complete a Goodreads challenge, I've gone for One Golden Summer by Carly Fortune. Reading this on my Kindle. I'm very excited to read that, a nice little summer romance. For a book with a title that is 2 words or less, we've gone for Sunstruck by William Rayford Hunter. Really excited to read this. Like I said, I don't know much about this. I'm going in a little bit blind, but I'm excited. I think it's going to be a nice August read. It is also like quite a big font. Yeah, I'm very excited to read that. For a book that Alex chose, he went with Crying in H Mart by Michelle Zorner. I'm excited to read this. I've heard really good things, and I don't really read memoirs or non-fiction. I haven't read a non-fiction or memoir in, I don't know if I've ever read a memoir, to be honest. Oh, I read the one by Dolly Alderton, but yeah, I'm excited to read this. Yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit of a heavy read with being about grief, but I'm excited to read that. For a book with the person on the cover, I have gone with My Friends by Frederick Brockman. Really excited to get around to this. I really love Frederick Brockman's writing. I've loved his 2 books that I've read so far. Yeah, this has been on my radar since last summer. I heard a lot of people talking about it in last summer, but I think it only recently came out in paperback, so I'm excited to read this. I haven't read like a good fiction in a little while. Excited for that. And then finally, for a book with which has a movie or TV adaptation, we've gone for A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. Yeah, I'm excited for this. I haven't read a thriller in a very long time, and like I said, this is one of my friend's favourite books, and yeah, just something to break up the list. I think this is a solid lineup, and it gives me a nice mix of genres depending on my mood, because I am very much a mood reader. But yes, that is all the books for my August TBR. As always, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I'd love to hear what you're planning on reading in August down below in the comments. If you do enjoy this video and do enjoy TBR videos, then I'd love if you give this video a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, I'd love it if you could subscribe, and I will see you all next week for a brand new one. Goodbye.